We're gonna jump into some of these topics.
All right,
Well, let me
let's get going.
introduce everybody first. Welcome back to Out of Bounds. If you're still following, keep following. Share with a friend for a friend.
Yeah.
We got Laird, Tay, Nigel, me, Cam. So there's been a lot that's happened. So we're gonna get it started off. We're gonna jump into it. This Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf. We can go around. Whoever wants to start off.
You take it away. Go
If
ahead.
you don't know, no, I want to hear what you guys. I want to hear. Like I've said a lot in the group chat, so I kind of
I'm
want to
gonna keep
hear
it
how you
honest. I noticed you posted about it. I didn't read about it. That much. So, but from what I've read that you said, Mike, that you posted, it's kind of a what really happened. That's all I really want to know is what truly happened. Cause it's a lot of he say, she say, and then like you posted the officers' reports. They don't know what even happened. All they know is they arrived on the scene, bro got
Somebody had a
arrested,
knife in their chest.
and then that's it. Like you don't know like what caused any of it. You just because he admitted it right there on spot. Like I did it. Like he. So I mean, I commend him for that. He didn't try to run from it. He was like, "No, I did it." Like but at the same time, it's like, okay, why did he do it? No one's giving us the true why. All we getting is that social media. Excuse me. All we getting is that social media like this is what went down. They had a fight at a party, and then the next thing you know, he got jumped, and like it's like, okay, well, is that what happened? Like, can someone please enlighten us who actually was a part of this? Like, speak. So I'm just like, what the hell with it at this point? Those are my
yeah.
thoughts.
Apparently,
I
the
mean,
school has told the kids not to say anything to the public until the trial, or there'll be consequences. So I think that's why we haven't heard too much from like eyewitnesses, other than the witness statements that they gave on the spot to the cops. What were you about to say, Laird?
I was gonna say, where we went high school, and I'm sure with other high schools and stuff, things that take place in school or outside of school, off school grounds, literally at someone's house or at a public park or wherever, those things, wherever it happens, they make their way back, vice versa. Like if you and I are beefing in school, I see you at a party, we gonna keep that beef going. Likewise,
Oh,
if you and I beef at a party and we're in school or on school grounds, we're gonna keep it going. Like it never stops where you are, right?
The
So
beef is on site. Yeah.
if yeah, if it's true that something did take place at a party, wherever or whatever the situation was, and it made its way back to school, I mean, that's the nature of the beast, right? If we are, it's the same thing with gang violence. Not saying that it's the same thing, but what I'm doing is I'm using gang violence as an example. It don't matter if you're on church grounds, it don't matter if you're at a mall, at the airport, someone's going to antagonize the other person and shit's going to break out, and that's most likely what happened. Now who started it, that's always going to be up for debate, but and we know that at bare minimum, if the kid was carrying a knife in his backpack, he was carrying it for protection of some type. I don't think someone carries a knife in their backpack expecting to deliberately stab someone who they're in a conflict with, because I feel like that's more effort to reach into your bag than it is to have it on your person. Like
true.
I've got a knife, like it's here, it's in my pocket. Yeah, I use it to cut open boxes and stuff, but if shit went left and I had to pull it out, easy access right there. Pause. That sound crazy. Um, Whereas, I'm not going to carry it in my backpack. I'm not going to carry it, in my wallet or something where it's going to be that much more cumbersome to get to. So
Right.
I don't think that he went there with the intent to do it. I think that things escalated and he was like, hey, I know what I got in my bag. Let me pull this out and do what I need to do.
Right. Well, it has been confirmed they don't know each other. They didn't have any prior interactions. And I mean, I do hear because I definitely understand going to certain schools and areas where you need to bring protection. However, they live in a really nice area. Like
That
their
doesn't stop
houses were
bullying and
quoted
dumb shit.
not bullying, but I'm saying their home is quoted the same around price of the homes where we live. Which, if you saw what that can buy where we live, imagine in Texas what that can buy you.
Yeah, it's probably
You know
super
what I'm saying? He went to
ridiculous.
one of them type of schools. Like they showed the football picture. There's only like a handful of black dudes on it. He went to our type of high school. He was the captain of the football team. So I
Hmm.
mean, again, the extent you have to defend yourself is ultimately, your transgression, I guess. However, I think it's also encouraging a dangerous precedent because now is just going to be the new standard that just carry a knife to school just in case. You know what I mean? Like we've all been to high school, we've all seen fights break out, and the fights
Correct.
usually end there, and that's it. There's no weapons being brought into it. Like the whole stand your ground thing. Even in Texas, I'm a grown ass adult. I'm a veteran. I'm licensed. I cannot get into conflict at a high school football game and stand my ground, whether that's with a knife or a gun. So it's like, I feel like based off of kind of like what Nigel said, we don't know a whole lot yet. Just off the facts that have been released, it's like you have to really reach to defend this kid because how hard is it with a hunting knife? Because as you said, there's a difference between having it on your person and having it in your bag. So
Hmm.
it has been reported by multiple people on the scene that he reached in the bag first and said, "Touch me again and see what happens." So it's kind of like you're provoking it. And then even if that's not what happened, let's say the confirmed hunting knife was in the bag, right? How hard is
Hmm.
it while you're getting jumped to reach into a bag while getting jumped, pull out the knife, lock it in place? Because if you don't lock it, you're just gonna try to stab him, cut yourself. Lock it and then clean stab him in the chest, and then that's the end of it. Everyone just stops on the scene, and you make off and run off, and then that's ended. Like it's just again, as someone who's been in a lot of fights in high school, Nigel, you met me in my 20s. We got a lot of fights in the Navy.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking as someone who's been in a
Yeah.
fight before, a lot of fights, and also seen people get jumped. That part don't really make a lot of sense to me, and I still don't think in any of those scenarios does a new standard need to be set. Even if it was a fight, you're losing, stab a nigga in the chest. Like, is that what our kids are gonna grow up with now? And get in a fight in the hallway and get stabbed in the chest?
Yeah.
What you think, Taya? I didn't let you speak yet. My bad.
The only thing I'm going to say is my experience with high school and middle school fights was that people brought weapons all the time. I mean, like, I know a kid that brought a taser and tased somebody. I know kids that have gotten stabbed.
God,
What happened with those kids?
God damn. A
One of
taser?
them got expelled,
Okay.
and the other, I mean, I don't really know what happened to all of them, but I mean, people have brought weapons to school. Uh, And to
Did
your
they
point,
face
again,
consequences?
I mean, of course,
Okay.
but but my thing is, I even know, like, my school is really weird about shit because I know a girl that got into, I'm sorry, I can't even say she got into a fight. Somebody was beating her up, and she was so worried about playing in the softball, like, playoffs or whatever the hell was going on.
She
And
just took the ass whooping.
she still got it suspended for even being involved in it.
Wow, that's
Yeah, she got her
crazy.
ass beat and did purposely did not fight back because she wanted to play in her softball game or tournament or whatever was going on, and she still got suspended.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
bullshit. I
that's
would have
wrong.
sued the
Because at
school
that point,
district.
you should have already thrown hands. So that's
Right.
wrong on
So
the school's
everybody was
part. They
pissed
Yeah,
didn't
I
do
off.
a
would
good
have sued the
job.
shit out of the school district.
No, like
Hmm.
I like that same kind of situation like actually happens. It actually happens a lot more than what we think in schools now. They do that whole no matter who's in if you're involved in the fight period, no matter if you fight back or not, everybody's getting in trouble. And it's like
It's
it's supposed to be
incorrect.
that way to it's supposed to be that way to deter people from fighting because it's like but at the same time it's like if I'm a fight and get in trouble for it, I might as well. I'm like, it don't matter if I'm defending myself or not. If motherfucker hit me, I'm gonna hit them ass back. Like I'm gonna get in trouble period. Like so I think that is kind of a stupid part that the education system has put out in schools now. Cause
Education system in general has problems.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an unfortunate part of the rule, but they gotta put some rule in place to try to discourage, because even though we all have that mentality because we defend ourselves, we also know a good amount of people who will be like Tay said, I'm not getting in a fight just because I don't want to get in trouble. I'll at least try to say I did. Like, you gotta set some type of rule. You can't just go, well, the kids are getting in fights anyway. And then when they start bringing knives, go, well, I mean, he had to defend himself, so he didn't get his ass kicked. Like, just like you said, people tased, people brought weapons. I guarantee every single time there was consequences to set a precedent. And I guarantee half the country didn't make it a race thing and start donating to the kid as if he was the victim. That, you know what I mean? Like,
So was this kid a
I just,
bully or was he not?
So I think
I
Because
really
the issue with
don't
what I'm
that.
know.
reading, it sounds like bully behavior. Like, he was like, he walked up to the kid and was like, hey, like, you're not supposed to be here, move. And then he like tried to physically move him. What are you doing? Why are you touching someone? Whether they go to your
And
school
that's
or not, why are you putting your hands on them?
so, and
So
I just want to say that because at first I thought that's what it was too. And that's what the story I was like, damn, because if there's a size difference and he's getting bullied, we may have something. But the two things is the guy from Austin Metcalf School, no one has confirmed these stories that he's a bully or anything.
no, I was just
And the
asking
people
because I'm
from the
like,
guy
it don't
that
make
did
no
stab
sense.
him,
Hmm.
the kid that did do the stab, people from his school confirmed, like, oh, he gets in fights. We know that he gets in fights sometimes. Like, that's what he does. But I'd say, I guess what I'm saying is, even with the bully, even if you wanted to go that route and say you're getting bullied,
Hmm.
it's just, A, how come no one else is able to confirm this? And B, how did it escalate so quick? Because we know high schoolers, everyone has cameras, everyone's always recording shit.
Yeah,
For it to
Snapchat,
escalate,
somebody got to somewhere.
if it got to what everyone online is saying, which these online stories haven't been confirmed, but if it got to the point where he's getting jumped or he was clearly getting bullied, where everyone can put a story together and confirm it, at no point did a camera come out like, yo, that kid is getting his ass, but there's a bunch of them. And where are these other kids, these other aggressors? Like the story that I had, the last report that I saw, which it kind of sounds like something I probably may have done, which is it was rainy out, it was shitty weather, so they delayed all the events.
Hmm.
They had everyone under their school's designated tents. They
Hmm.
saw him under their tent, and they walked up was like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be under here." And then that's where the situation escalated. At that point, there's a
Is that
million and
also
one
what I
different.
read, where a coach said, like, "Oh, go under the tent"? Like, is that also what I had read, or no? Is that
I don't
incorrect?
know
Read
about
that
that thing. I'm
too.
just going off the
Yeah, I
police
saw that
report.
too.
It said that, yeah, they told them all the kids were told to go under the tents, but for whatever reason, they saw him was like, you don't go to the school's tent, go to another tent. And then the actual story escalates from there, from the he said, she said, where it's like, do something about it.
Back
And
and
then
forth.
he initially tried to remove him, and he was like, don't put your hands on me. And he tried to shove him. And he was like, punch me and watch what happens. And then he reaches in the back. Either way, I'm just saying that's a lot to happen, and nobody recorded it. No one is a clear
No one called for
witness on
help.
site to
Like,
confirm.
yeah,
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just dangerous because these online conspiracies is not going to help this man. This
It's not.
the story of what's reported versus him getting jumped by a bunch of people and all that. It seems way different, and I just don't see it helping him at all. Yeah,
It's
and also,
honestly
have
his
y'all seen his
surprising to me.
lawyer?
No.
His lawyer is sketchy himself. His lawyer has like these domestic violence charges of beating his girlfriend's 2-year-old son. He beat him unconscious.
oh, geez. Okay, yeah,
Bro,
probably
this is
not the
one of
best
them
lawyer to
That's
like
pick.
still a lawyer.
this is one of them self-reform lawyers that was just got out the pen, and I guarantee
Oh, this is
he's the
not who you
leader
want.
of.
This is
This is
not who
what
you
I've been
want.
trying to tell people. This is the man. It's all just like the Al Sharptons and the other dude out in Houston, that lawyer. It's all these race baiting people who they don't bring anything to the table of actual value that can actually help your case. So they just try to do the OJ case verdict and go and just get America on board to make it a race thing. And it's like, yo, he's setting you guys up for a disappointment. All that GoFundMe money is going to have to be given back to Austin Metcalf's family in a lawsuit after this trial, because civil trials ain't like criminal trials. As long as you're more than 50% liable, which you admitted you stabbed the motherfucker in the chest, guess what? You're losing a lawsuit. So it it's really a lot of foolery. Like, I hate to say it. I won't say it's the shade room niggas. It's the shade room niggas that's gonna fuck this kid Carmelo Anthony over. He fucked up, in my opinion. He made a bad choice. He's gonna have to face a consequence. If I stab somebody in the chest, if anybody of us stab somebody in the chest, we cannot guarantee to rely on some fucking race war to save us. There's consequences for bad move. You made a bad decision. Regardless what happened, you could have fought your way out. You could have just left their tent because it wasn't your school's tent, whether we like it or not. As an athlete, I've been in those scenarios where it's like, you know what? That's our bags over there and stuff. Let me go actually make sure our shit don't get stolen. Yo, my man, this is just for the school guys. Like, and if your first thing is, nigga, what? Do something. Watch what happens. And reaching my back. Yeah, bro, it's gonna be static. So I'm not about to sit here ignorant and act like this nigga was an angel and he didn't may have happened to do some hard art shit. The nigga that's toting Dracos from the suburbs. Like, come on now. Tay, what niggas in Franklin was toting Dracos?
Honestly,
Blair, what niggas in Monroe was toting Dracos?
I'm not gonna lie though, that was the point I was gonna get to, is that even growing up in the suburbs, there were people that were trying to make it the hood.
Thank you. That was my point. What niggas were toting Draco? Think about them niggas where they at now. Are those the niggas that you would paint as an angel, star athlete? He could do no wrong. If you saw that nigga stab somebody, you'd be like, yeah, it was probably gonna be that nigga. Yeah, damn. He was one of the hard. So that's what I'm saying. Just keep it a stack. Like, let's not get lost in the whole emotions of making this a black-white thing. We are niggas, no matter what. We cannot claim some niggas and we still gonna be niggas.
I will say I respect Austin Metcalf's dad for saying that he didn't want it to be a race thing. And he said that he forgave Carmelo Anthony for his actions despite losing his son to them. And people are still trying to create this race divide. And I don't think that that's fair. I think it was
They kicked him out the press conference.
Wait, what?
Maybe he also knew that his son might have been a dick.
To their press conference. Carmelo Anthony, his lawyer, and the family did a press conference after he got released where they were crying as if Carmelo was the victims. Austin Metcalf, the dad, was there in the back in shades, and they kicked him out. They had the police trespass him and then open the press conference talking about, see how disrespectful it was for him to show up here, knowing what they're doing. It's like, bro, he's the victim. Like,
I didn't know
he lost his son.
Thank you. I'm telling y'all, be careful. Watch out for the shade room niggas. They're gonna make us look bad. They're gonna say some ignorant shit online, bro. But I'm telling you, this is not one of the ones we need to claim him. We could just let him go. There's a bunch of other criminals we don't know about. Just let them niggas go. This ain't the one. He to me, I look at him like the baton girl. Why? Like, I think I looked in her back and I looked at it through the same lens I looked at Baton Girl. And the fact that I got to reach for this story to make sense is the same way I look at Baton Girl. The skin color does not make a difference. These are kids at the end of the day.
Yeah, they are. They're kids and they're making stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Kids who should still be alive.
True.
Both of them. Like, imagine losing your twin.
Literally
your
a PCR.
twin brother. Y'all shared a womb together.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And you got half the country donating $1 million to this kid, trying to offer false information. They getting on Instagram and shit, trying to make it seem like your brother was some demon.
And what's even
like,
crazy
bro,
about
we were kids.
What's crazy about it too is just like the fact is like none of Cameron Anthony's family, like none of them like actually was like, oh, fund us, go me, none of this. And it was just it was literally because of the media, like that whole GoFundMe shit started.
But one important thing is they never said stop. And then the thing and the reason why people are donating to, they fed into it by still pretending to be the victim, so they're not off the hook. And as soon as GoFundMe let them start to deposit some of that money, withdraw some of it, they did. So, yeah, they ain't asked for it, but they ain't returned that shit either. They ain't asked to stop.
Hey, that's that hard R shit right there. Like, so
that's all I'm saying, yo. All kinfolk ain't kinfolk. There's some niggas we do not need to claim. That is them, bro. Leave it. We already got a good Carmelo Anthony. Why do we need the fucking...
Hey.
What are we doing? Anyway.
Crazy right now.
Yeah, yeah. I also gotta
All
ask
right, I've
y'all.
got
Are we
some
done with that
stuff going.
topic?
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Kyren Lacy, LSU, wide receiver.
Oh
He
yeah.
was uninvited to the draft. I
Unfortunate.
mean, to the combine and draft because of his hit and run situation back in December, where he was speeding on the road, got in a hit and run accident, accidentally killed that retired sheriff. It was reported he was in Houston
Oh, it
with
was a retired
family.
sheriff.
Yes, he was in Houston with family,
Damn.
and there was a verbal altercation where he pulled out his gun. They called the police on him. He fled the scene. The police put out the alert that he was in the area. He had a gun. Once they found him, they tried to pull him over for a traffic stop. He evaded. When the police did catch up to him, his car was parked, and then they noticed he had shot himself. Yeah,
Wait, he shot
unalived.
himself?
Yeah, he unalived himself.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
The initial report I read said that he had like crashed. That's why I was so confused.
Yeah, he did
Shot
crash, but
himself
when the
and
cops
he
saw the gun
crossed
in
the
his
line.
hand, no, he crashed, and I guess maybe he was still alive, or maybe he shot himself and then crashed. I don't know the order. I just know when the cop got there, he pulled up, noticed the car was crashed, saw a gun, and then was like, "Oh, and then was able to put two and two together."
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Nigel, I know you're an LSU fan. Do you want to kick this one off?
I mean, tragic story, you hate to see someone with that much talent, just spiral out of control. Suicide is never really a fun topic for me, you can, why, you know. Uh, but this is one of those like bro just couldn't face the music of his consequences of his actions, so he unfortunately just thought it would be better to just pass on rather than facing them like a man. So just difficult, but that's also part of growing up in my eyes. Like you got to learn your consequences gonna have actions, and you got to be able to shit. Kind of like last story we just talked about. Consequences got actions. You gotta either face the music or you know be a bitch
Don't
and
do it.
whine about it. Yeah. So, but that's my thoughts on that. It's
I'd
not
like
much
to
I like.
imagine that we're all on the same page with that. Um, I mean, at least us. I don't know how many other people who are know the story, but I feel like a lot of people are on the same page. Would we agree with that or not necessarily?
In terms of what, Kyren Lacy?
Yeah, and just like like
Yeah.
what Nigel said, like do we all like I feel like at least I'm on the same page as Nigel about it. Like in his
Yeah,
opinion, like that he just shared.
yeah. No, I definitely agree. It sucks. It really does because he was very talented, and
Yeah.
it feels like the situation it escalated so fast. It granted it's been spread out over the past 4 or 5 months since he got in the initial accident, but it is it just feels like it went from him being one of the top receiver prospects coming out of LSU, because last year was him, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, all those guys. To
Mhm.
then he wasn't even invited to the draft. I just want to know what is it that made it go from A to Z? Because he had did a pro day and he was doing tryouts for teams, which to me tells me his agent probably heard somewhat from somewhere like, hey, if we can possibly get out of this case, there is still a future. There is still hope for you. That's the only reason why we're even here doing this. So I feel like we kind of know what caused them to go off the deep end, but I just still am curious of what made everything escalate so fast. You know what I mean? And
I just want to know why no one has learned from fucking what Henry Ruggs. Yeah, I
Henry
just want to
Ruggs,
know why. I want to know why no one's learned from him yet. Like you still have kids out here just driving like assholes doing dumb shit. The kids from Alabama, um, who were driving one of the team's vehicles and they were racing and doing stupid shit and people got killed. Um, then there's this like, yo, like, why are y'all not learning? Like, please just drive normal. Like, yeah, everyone wants to fuck around and have fun. Like, dude, it was snowing when I was up in the mountains last weekend. Yeah, I'm doing donuts in a parking lot and stuff, like doing dumb shit. But am I gonna be, flying down mountain roads going 90 miles an hour into a 45-mile-an-hour curve or something? Absolutely not. Like these young kids, bro. Well, people in general. It's not just them. There are a lot of people. I don't know if you remember, but from our town, the town architect was drunk and like crashed into a school bus or something a couple years
Hmm.
ago. Um, yeah, so like everyone of all ages, they do dumb things, but when you have the potential to have access to so much money and so much opportunity, you should be that much more cautious. And I don't understand why people aren't seeing that. And they're all going to have to learn the hard way. That's really what it is. Your draft stock will go down. In some cases, you may be looking at prison time, depending on whatever stupid thing you did. Um, you know, kids are just going to have to continue. Everyone in general is just going to have to continue to learn. Learn the hard way.
I agree. I think with all the money that they have, especially, the books have been opened up through this whole NIL thing and showing how much money these schools bring in the programs. I think it would be a smart investment. And not to say that they don't do it already. I just haven't seen the proof of it. But do you guys remember Des Bryant had like a handler when he got in the league? He kept getting too much trouble off field, and Jerry Jones
Mm-hmm.
basically
Mm-hmm.
gave him like a handler, like just to keep him out of trouble. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we can still have fun and everything, but I'm gonna be the guy to watch over you to make sure shit don't go. I feel like schools should have that, but for position groups, you know what I mean? And have former athletes of the school. Even if it's not necessarily that sport, it would definitely help if it's that sport. But there's a lot of athletes who have come and gone even before NIL who may not, who would love a job for the program. I'll keep it there. For whatever reason, they would love a job of opportunity for their alma mater, and it's mutually beneficial. But I think that's one way to kind of keep a rein on things. Like, um, I know even out here in Austin, the UT guys, the known spots in Austin is 6th Street, whether you West, Dirty East, or the Domain, right? That's where everybody goes out to go out. You never see players there. There's a known strict rules. They are not allowed to be there. I think if programs implement certain things, not to say that they don't already, but whether it's have handlers for position groups that can be like, all right, the wideouts, what we doing this weekend? I need to keep y'all occupied and out of shit. Linemen, what we doing this weekend? Or just have strict guidelines like, hey, y'all can't be over here. If you over here, you off the team. That's it. But yeah, I agree. There has to be something done by the schools, and I think they can do it. It's a matter of being proactive instead of reactive.
I agree with that. Definitely when you end up playing a college sport, they go through the handbook and stuff. I think in some cases, depending on your program, you may actually sign something saying, yes, I was there, I participated in whatever lecture and stuff. I do understand and agree to these terms. Like when players do that, that should be it. There should be no, uh, oh, hey, I got in trouble for smoking weed or whatever. Like, I'll just do 100 up downs and whatever. Like, no, like I love smoking weed. I do. You signed something saying, hey, I wasn't going to smoke weed. I wasn't
Light
going
it
to do
up.
drugs, whatever. Like, I got caught. You're gone. That's it. I don't care if you're a starter. I don't care if you're a fourth string. Get the fuck out. Like, all your NIL money, gone. Like, be a regular student, transfer somewhere else, do whatever you want, but you're not going to be my problem. You're not going to jeopardize our program and yourself because you want to be selfish. Absolutely not. Like not under my watch.
I always wondered too, especially before NIL with all the money these motherfuckers were pocketing. How come, and not to say there aren't schools that don't do it, but how come across the board, especially with football, just because there's so much personnel throughout the program, how come they don't treat it kind of the way frats do? Frats, we know about all of this stuff that goes on with frats, but they will never let that brand be tarnished. And they have their houses,
Oh,
they
100%.
have the sororities, they got the old members that stay downstairs. They don't let guys into that. Let's say I get the keys to a big Power 5 school. The money I'm taking, I'm buying a row of houses. These are the football houses. Y'all niggas stay here. We're gonna have the guys that are working their way up, the alumni that want coaching jobs. When you're doing your scouting and all that,
and stuff. Yeah.
it's just gonna be like standing quarterdeck watch, man. You're gonna sit your ass at that desk right there. After a certain time, nobody leaves, nobody comes in. They want to play, fuck around and find out. You can go play somewhere else. Also, just to keep a handle on things, everybody share your location with me. If I find you at this location, I will get an alert. Just know you will come home to your bags packed, and you can call mom crying because I'm not fucking with you. I don't care. That I don't understand. Like, I feel like some things are a little bit more simple than they make it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I really feel like they definitely need to be implementing that kind of stuff now with this whole NIL deal stuff. Because if you're gonna be paying these kids, making them pretty much millionaires as soon as you get into college, you need to have some stipulations on them. Because then not only are you paying them money now, they go off and do something stupid. You just paid this kid millions of dollars and you just lost out. And now you got to kick him off the team, and you're not gonna get that money back unless you got to sign in that deal.
Yeah, you're on the hook for it, whether he's in jail, dead, whatever.
Unless
chances are you owe him that money flat out. Like,
exactly.
I think these coaches in schools have more leverage than they realize with the NIL. Like I'd have an airtight contract. And again, go ahead and fuck around if you want to, and try to explain to the next school why they should invest money in you, and you could make it work over here, or you could end up on next season, the last chance you. The choice is yours, but we gonna keep this thing going. We gonna keep this thing rolling.
Like, no, it is crazy though. Like, I feel like now that NIL has kind of entitled a lot of the athletes, especially in the college football athletes, like they are now feeling entitled that they can just do whatever the hell they want. Exactly,
no,
like
man, out of pocket, whether it's him or his family or
out
whatever, they're out of pocket.
Like,
bro said, yeah, run me another $4 million. Like, bro, get out of here.
And for what?
Man, Tennessee,
he tried to compare himself to a person that went to the SEC championship, to a person who they actually, well, no, they had a first round bye. They didn't win the playoff game, but you get where I'm going with it. It's like, bro, what? Who are you comparing yourself to?
Like, bro went to a championship.
Like,
he won the championship.
A lot of these players got this shit fucked up. And this NIL shit is not supposed to make you retire. Like, this is not to set you up for life. This is to get you through college. The goal is still to make it to the league. So
yeah, I think they're giving them too much money.
Contract negotiations. Yeah, if I'm an NFL scout, that's a red flag to me. You getting in bickered with your coach. Money. If I'm an NFL scout, I'm like, is this what I'm gonna have to deal with? Is this gonna be my head? It's like seeing a hot girl and you're like, why didn't your last relationship work out? Oh, well, we would argue because I felt like he wasn't spending enough money on me, and then the restaurants weren't enough, and he wasn't giving me enough. And it's like, honestly, I'll take the journey. I'll do that. How much is Sam Darnold want? How much the Brock Purdy
as a former college athlete, like, you would also agree that they're getting too much money, yeah?
Oh, 100%. I didn't get a penny when I was
yeah, like we didn't get money, 100%. We didn't get money, but do these kids need $8 and $10 million and shit like that? No, like, we should probably cap it at least at $1 million.
100%.
Because half these kids, they're not even going to be here that long anyway. I'm gonna give you $8 million. Why? You're only gonna leave in 2 years, 3 years. Like, you're not even staying a full 4 or 5, depending on, however your shit is set up. Like, you're gonna be here 2 years most likely, and then you're gone.
Right.
There's no reason for me to give you that much money. Like, $1 million is more than enough for a college kid. On top of that, you're already on scholarship and stuff. Like, you go down to bars and stuff, people are covering your tab, XYZ. Like, I've been there, I've seen it, I've participated in that. Like, I've gone downtown and not paid for drinks, not once. Like,
Reggie Bush.
So,
Wait, Tay, what was you about to say?
No, I was gonna say, like I've said before, I feel like these schools should have an incentivized program for their
That too,
NIL
very
people.
important.
Let them reach certain parameters, get certain grades, maintain a certain GPA, and then they get payments in installments instead of saying, "Welcome to college football. Here's $10 million. Don't make any bad decisions." But
they don't do a salary cap, and then that salary cap is set with where it's only you can only receive money from the program. No boosters, none of that bullshit. Granted, it is NIL, so technically that does mean you can get advertisements, you can get sponsors. Fine. If you can land Nike deal, if you can land a Gatorade deal, if the local fucking car dealership wants to give you a Hellcat, more power to you because you did earn that. That can be proven. You did earn that.
But that's outside resources. That's outside. That's not from the school. Exactly.
Because even professional athletes got to do the same thing. They got a salary cap, but they can still go get their Adidas contract. So I think they should. Their actual salary should only be strictly from the program, from the money that they generate in revenue, and there should be a salary cap on it, and that I think can help, and also give a realistic view of the money that they should be expecting, as well as more transparency as the money being brought in, because it's revenue and performance based.
Now,
and as you already know, too. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Now, my question is, what is that like? It also too like NIL is definitely it's affecting the athletes, but how does that affect the students who aren't athletes? And are they gonna have to start paying more tuition too now because school's asking for more money because they're trying to dish out more money to these kids? Like, is that
they've already been doing that. They've shown that they're going to raise your tuition no matter what, which is why college is largely a scam at the university level.
College is largely a scam. I will agree.
It is. But that's why I said it should be revenue based, because this should be based off of the tickets you are selling, the TV
jerseys, all that shit. Yeah.
Because even before all the tickets, jerseys, all that stuff, you guys already have your guaranteed $1 billion. You have like a $4 billion contract with NBC. Some of y'all got like a $5 billion with ESPN, another $1 billion with this and that. So it's like y'all already are guaranteed to billions of dollars before we sell a single ticket. We can have COVID season for 2 years and still have billions of dollars profit guaranteed. Streaming services, all that shit. Just make it based off the revenue. The students shouldn't have to suffer, because at the end of the day, college is supposed to set you up. College is supposed to be an institution to get you set up for the next phase of life. So the degular students shouldn't have to suffer. And the people who come here that don't go professional should not be worse off because they went to college, the Institute for Higher Learning. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's ways that can be fixed. They just don't want to do it. They're more reactionary than they are proactive. And because no one's put the pressure on them to do it, they're just like, well, like, are you going to do it?
Yeah, okay. My question is too, it's like, okay, a kid comes in, gets an NIL deal, gets injured his first practice, season's like career-ending injury. Now what? He just has all this money and that's it.
He can't. And even before NIL, schools did have health insurance plans for athletes for scenarios like that.
They do?
Yeah, even before NIL.
I mean, and that's cool, but like, I think where Tay's the question that I'm getting at Tay's asking though is like, yeah, you got health insurance, but like, we done paid this man an NIL deal, and we still got to pay him because he ain't played one down on the field or one like pass or anything. Like, he ain't done shit.
I would look at it in that scenario as a coach or as an AD. I would say, well, your injury, make no mistake, is as a result of coming here and contributing. So I can't give you the whole contract. Let's say I offered you $1 million, the cap, right? Because you were a 5-star athlete. I can't give you the whole million. I can still give you like 400,000, 400,000 or 500,000. And hey, that's enough to still go to college if you want. More than enough money where you can say fuck college.
Yeah, because when you get injured, they don't take your scholarship. You stay on scholarship. They still allow you to be on a scholarship. It's no longer athletic, or it may actually be athletic. I could be lying. I could be lying. I'm speaking from personal experience.
I was gonna speak on my experience.
I'm speaking about personal experience, like with people who I know, they were still able to be on scholarship.
I'm sorry, but the way my coach,
she gave that sign like, nigga, please.
I'm sorry. It was just funny because that to me, I went to my coach's office at the end of my sophomore year, and he said, "Yeah, you've just been injured too many times, so we're gonna have to take some of your scholarships so we can recruit other girls." I said, "I have it in writing that my scholarship cannot be touched unless I get bad grades," and I was a straight A student, so. And I didn't play after that, so. I did my senior year, but barely played. And yeah, he was like, I came in, I had an injury with my knee. I was overtraining in the summer, trying to make sure my ass was in shape for the season. I went on a cruise, played this little soccer thing on top of the cruise deck. This old ass man who felt like he had something to prove slammed into me. I sprained my MCL and my meniscus. So I came in hurt, worked my way back.
Hold on.
My first practice back, I rolled the fuck out of my ankle. And so I was hurt most of the season. But mind you, my freshman year, I was the leading goal scorer on the team. I was a starter. Like I did my damn thing my freshman year. So I felt like I had done everything I can to prove that I can play at this level. And then injuries happen. Like, but you're not about to snatch my scholarship because I got hurt. It's a fucking contact sport. Like,
can I ask a question?
Why this nigga got his hand raised like we in class?
On you.
When you got your cruise ship injury, were you fresh off of the injury? Like, did you play that full season before, or were you returning?
No, I played. So like I said, my freshman year, I was the leading goal scorer. I played the whole season. I started damn near every fucking game.
This was after your freshman year.
This happened after my freshman. So I played my freshman year myself. The summer before I had to go to preseason training, I went on a cruise with my family. I was working out twice a day on the cruise, still eating healthy as fuck, like trying to stay on my shit. They had this like.
Did you tell them how you got the injury? Were you honest, or were you like, I was in a gym and it was on a cruise ship, so it just fucked me up?
No.
She can't admit that.
What if they see that? I probably lied and said that I was playing like pick up with my friends or trying to keep up with my training, or got hurt in like my soccer league, because a lot of us still played like in like women's leagues in the summer to keep up with playing soccer. So I probably said I got hurt during my women's league game or something.
Okay. Because I ain't gonna lie, if I'm a coach and I hear that news, I'm not justifying nothing he said, but I'm gonna have some shit to talk. Like, you got hurt doing what?
An old man with your ass.
Man, you're a Division I athlete. You trying to prove what on a cruise ship?
I wasn't trying to prove anything. I went there for funsies. I was just like, just like fuck around, you know. It was like some chill shit. I thought that old ass man slammed into me so hard. Now I got up and I was like, oh my god, I can't walk. Yeah.
Oh, old niggas be laying it down like that.
Pause.
The way she said it, it sounded crazy. Yeah. Like, he slammed into me. When I got up, I couldn't walk.
This was a great podcast. I hope everyone has the wonderful rest of their Easter. I'm out.
Hey, I got to ask you a real quick question. Did y'all see that news of the Baylor basketball team? The entire team hit the transfer portal?
No. What? Men's, women's, what sport?
Men's basketball. Baylor's entire basketball team hit the transfer portal.
Really? When? Like recently?
Does that say yes?
Okay, but why?
I don't. Again, everyone's gonna have their own reasons, so that only but the common denominator is the school and the coach. So.
Oh yeah, no shit, it's here. Yeah, they got no players.
If you signed up to go to that school, that means the school may not have been a problem. You did like the school, like something about it. Everybody from Texas knows Baylor, Waco. Cool.
I'm gonna go with the coach.
What's up with the coach?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to blame it on the coach.
Yo, everyone slid out. That's crazy.
Everyone, top to bottom, slid.
Do you know how shitty of a coach you have to be for every single play? Because I feel like there's always that coach that nobody like that. For the most part, most people don't fuck with, but there's those select like 2-3 that really like fuck with the coach.
Or
for
it's like
every single player to be like,
yeah, those are the ones that started.
I gotta go. I gotta
That's
go. Every
crazy.
single player. Oh yeah. GG's.
How hard is recruiting going to be if they don't fire that coach?
That's what
Yeah, you have to. You
that's what I'm
gotta
saying.
you gotta investigate that with the quickness. Be like, yo, what did you do to these kids?
If I was a coach,
Facts.
I would leave right now, just to save my name and just put the blame on the athletic director or something. Just keep pushing the
Exactly.
blame, something, because that could end your career.
That's wild.
The whole team
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
That's like if you're the coach of the Spurs and the whole team retires.
Yo, he must have said some wild shit when they lost.
Something, bro. Bro was snapping. Bro was snapping on him.
Bro.
I didn't see
That
that. That's crazy. I don't think that
yeah.
that has ever, that
Yeah, I was
probably
gonna
has
say, has
never
that ever
happened.
happened in the history of like college sports?
It
No,
hasn't because the
I don't
transfer
think.
portal is new, but as much as they say that the transfer portal is a problem, I feel like this is one of those times where it kind of exposes a problem that ain't the players. Because without the transfer portal, we would never know. A lot of them would just be stuck there for 4 years.
Yeah.
It used to have to be the coach's discretion. You had to get an approved transfer.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I always had a problem with. I feel like the transfer portal, in my personal opinion, the transfer portal should always have been a thing because, there
Hmm.
are players in various sports across the board who end up, picking a school not only because they like it, but because of, whatever the recruiter or the relationship that they have with the coach. Let's say the coach leaves or is fired or the promises and shit aren't lived up to, now they're stuck, and that's pretty fucking lame. It really is. So the transfer portal
I
should have
agree.
always have been a thing. It definitely, it not existing probably handicapped a good portion of talented players who we could have seen, just more of on TV. Possibly they could have gone to the NFL or wherever, NBA, MLB, I guess. Well, most MLB players now are from some Spanish country somewhere.
My next question I was going to ask. That's the next topic, but keep going.
No, yeah, no, well, yeah, I was just bringing that up. Like, I think that it always should have been a thing. And, it's very unfortunate that, now that it's here, it's being abused. Where, you have kids transferring every, every freaking half season or whatever. They're like, yeah, I'm not getting enough play time. Like, bro, I'm out. And like, they stop playing. And then it's all right, the transfer portal opens, like, yo, I'm gone, deuces. And it's like, bro, you know, I think that there should also be a limit to how many times you can transfer as well. Going back to having limitations on NIL money and stuff, in a 4 to 5 year college career, provided that you choose to even stay that long, you should probably at max have 2 transfers.
Hmm.
I think that would definitely deter people from hopping through all the time because we know kids who went to JUCOs and stuff. They would go to a school for 1 year, then go to a JUCO, then go somewhere else, then go to a JUCO.
Just to
So
get a picture in a
Nick,
uniform for
yeah,
Instagram.
exactly. Like Nick's all that. Like, bro, you got 2 transfers. That's it. Use
That's
them
it.
wisely. It's like same thing, when you drop a class or whatever in college, you can drop a class. I think two. I think you're allowed 2 or 3 drops during a given year, however you choose to use them. So
Before it's like,
that's
bro,
just like
you're the problem. If you can't make
yeah,
it work,
exactly.
2 transfers is 3 programs. If you couldn't make it work, you're the problem.
Yeah,
Maybe you're just
yeah.
not cut out for this. And I agree. College should have always allowed transfers. I think schools across America, high school should have always allowed choice schools because I've
Hmm.
seen athletes like that where they may have went to a school that the program wasn't a good fit for them.
Hmm.
And now they're kind of just stuck there. Like if you're a guy who you have the potential to play for a Power Five school as a receiver or a tight end, but you go to school that they just run the ball all the time. They're doing wishbone type offense, and you're just running, 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 running. Yeah, you should be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to the school this year. This program, not against y'all, it's just it doesn't really work for my skill set. I can't really get my full value, and my goal is to go to the next level. So I do agree. There should be limits, but you should be allowed to do it. You shouldn't just be stuck where you at. That just feels so weird and pointless.
Yeah, it's like a military contract, but without, well, I don't know. I can't say anything about military benefits. I mean, you probably could.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is. But I know you were talking about with the MLB, how Latin America is taking over. We've seen with the NBA have Europeans have taken over. Do we think that there's an outside nation who can come in and take over football? And Samoans do not count. They are Americans.
The only thing I can make the comparison to is like rugby in
I was
England.
gonna say that. I was like, maybe rugby players, because those athletes, they are freight trains.
And football, we just have so many different sides of the game, and the one thing they're lacking is they don't throw forward. They just do that little side shuffle.
Yeah.
Like they'll make some good linebackers and fullbacks.
That's the only thing I can think is like their strength. But for certain positions where you need that, but specifically like quarterbacks and like wide receivers and stuff, maybe not. But
yeah, D linemen, offensive linemen, probably they probably.
You ever met Australian niggas? You ever met Australian and New Zealand people that played rugby? Some of them really like that no pad part of the game. Like they really got like some screw not all the way wired up here, right? And they really like that contact that slam you in the grass and feel your bones cracking shit. Like that's why they come over here and they can play football and they'll be like, "Nah, I play for my school's club rugby team." Like, bro, you know you're only gonna get $100 NIL this year. It's okay, man. It's worth it. I'm gonna lose my finger. This one's faced this way. My other finger's missing over here, but it's all worth it. They really love that shit.
I'm here to drink beer and put niggas in the dirt. That's it.
literally, bro. And they be at halftime with the big mug too, lit.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Rocky 4? Yes, no?
I've never seen any of the Rockies.
Oh my gosh. What? Okay. Well, anyway, in Rocky 4, there's Ivan Drago, and he's like, "I must break you." that's what the rugby players are.
I thought that was 3.
Was it 3?
Yeah, because I thought Rocky 4 was when is Ted Cleverland.
No, yeah, you got him reversed. 3 is Cleverland, 4 is for his fight with Russia. But hey, at least you've seen it, so there.
Yeah.
I wasn't born yet. Sorry.
They're like classics.
Rocky?
They are classics.
Those are classic movies, for real.
Yeah,
bro, there's a lot of classics, bro. There's a lot of
Rocky
movies.
Balboa is like,
there's a lot of movies in the world, so you can't.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so why do you think Creed 2 went so hard, bro? Because like that spark of fucking the Rocky 4, man, bring back. Oh my god. That shit was nice, bro.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that does tie in because he is Apollo's son. Yeah. Yes.
Hey,
right. Yeah.
Y'all niggas, oh my god.
We locked in, twin.
Entwined. God damn.
No,
I'm
shameful.
sorry. I'm not a movie girl. I'm not a movie girly.
I've probably seen.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I asked my dad. I'll never forget. We was at the barbershop, and I asked my dad about Rocky. And y'all know how before the Instagram appointment only barbers, y'all know how growing up around niggas, the barber shop was the place you congregate at all ages. And I remember one time we was talking about boxing. I think we were talking about Shane Mosley fight coming up at the time. And I had said something about, hey, Dad, I was like, Dad, I never seen Rocky. Like I was asking about Rocky, point being, them niggas started clowning out the shop. They was like, bro, what you would want to see some white dude beat up a brother, man. I ain't trying to put that movie on. We are not playing that in the shop right now. Fuck out of here, bro. And we ended up watching some other movie. And then after that, I just never thought to check for it again.
See, of course, yes, they would bring the Panther element to it, yes.
They could see. You see how sometimes making shit about race can corrupt a young mind.
But then they ended up becoming friends, right? Even though he beat him, they ended up becoming friends, training him
I
for,
missed the whole
you
thing.
know,
Just
anyway,
hearing that
it's good.
that like,
No, he ran up the
If,
steps.
if
So we can agree, football. There's too many elements of the game to master where one country can just come in and just take over the
correct,
whole game.
because
There's
you have
offense,
to have,
defense, special teams, and then there's different sides of that.
I mean,
you have to have a brain.
the only reason why the we had people from down south take over the MLB world is because back in the day, when black folks couldn't play with white folks, where'd they go? They created their own league or they went down south. And what they do when they get down south? Have a lot of babies because women out there look pretty good. So,
Not you
generational
stealing my
stuff.
story from a couple episodes ago and reteaching us my.
Hey,
bro,
man.
you better go on. You better go on, bro. Taking my regurgitated history facts about Dominican players, and now you want to read it back to bro. Go on, bro.
Hey, sometimes you gotta remind them,
See,
and all
this
credit
what
due.
happens
And like I said,
that's what
and I'm
happens
gonna say
when you
this too.
teach niggas. They get so caught up telling everybody else your info as if it's theirs that come back to you to spit the block. Back to the
See, I was
source.
about to give you
I know.
your props, nigga. I was about to say, all shout to the cam for that, that info.
All good. I'm still your friend. What are our draft predictions though? I know the past few episodes we made a couple lose, but like we've seen now that they're talking about Shadir could go to New Orleans, which I think would be a great fit because like Peyton Manning, they keep saying he doesn't have a big arm, so an indoor arena may work for that. But it's looking like the Giants may be off the table. Tennessee is off the table because they want Cam Ward. Where do we think Shadir Sanders is going to go?
So me being a Saints fan, I would love to see him come. Right now, though, I know we got a lot of uncertainties. So it's a lot of uncertainties with us, like so much. And then also too, it's like I think New Orleans is still trying to put their money on Derek Carr, which ain't gonna be good. And it would be nice to have Shadir there because he's gonna probably light that fire in either Derek Carr's ass and be like, either you need to play, we're gonna get you up out of here. So honestly, see him going that low in the draft. I was thinking maybe like 5 and above for him, not necessarily like still in the top 10.
Who's going top 5?
I thought Shadir might have gone top 5
in the draft. Like top 5 quarterbacks or top 5 picks?
Top 5 picks. Like I didn't think he was gonna go that low because for one, he's got the name. 2, he does have some talent, and 3 is just like most of the time the top 5 teams really need a QB. It's like so, but like I said, I didn't see him going all the way to number 9. Like 6th or 7th, I could have been like, okay, I can kind of see that. But 9, I'm like, damn, this is kind of low for him.
I don't know, bro. I don't think this is one of them drafts where the teams all need a quarterback, and I don't think this is one of them drafts where it's loaded with quarterbacks.
What about
like just looking at the
Steelers? The Steelers don't really have one, right?
No, the
Steelers
Steelers
are
do.
desperate
They got
for one now.
Well, yeah.
But as far as a top 5 pick, the Titans already knew was going to take Cam Ward. Tennessee would be a cool fit for Shadir, but I didn't think they would use their first pick. Cleveland, I think they're over the draft and quarterback thing. They've tried it the past 25 years. It hasn't worked. The Giants brought in 2 quarterbacks, so there's not really room. Even though I still think it's potentially, I still think Jameis or Russ is a sign and trade potentially, but the Giants don't really need a quarterback. And then the Jaguars, they already committed. Yeah, they already committed to Trevor Lawrence. So I never saw it as a top 5 pick because I just didn't see any teams that made sense. That was a good fit for him, top 5. I thought he may have gone 6 with the Raiders. I know his dad would love to see him with Vegas. He already said that jokingly to Antonio Pierce. I don't think the Jets would be. I don't think New York City would be a good fit for him. Truthfully, I don't really think New York City is a great fit for a lot of quarterbacks as a rookie. I think that's somewhere you guys a journeyman or a winner personally. But yeah, the only thing I could see that would have worked for him this entire time would have been either 6 or 9 with the Saints. Everyone else, if he don't get picked there, he really don't have a choice but to be a little bit of a late first round pick. Potential and namesake aside, just purely based off of who needs a quarterback and where he ranks, I don't think this is surprising to me.
Now, what do you think? Travis still gonna go to New York? Is the question.
Bro, Travis Hunter, I wish Travis Hunter would just stop talking to the media. I don't know who his agent is. I wish he would just stop. I don't want to hear no more about his girlfriend. I don't want to hear him no more talk about
Is he
how
still
he's gonna.
talking? Are they still topic of
I think
conversation?
I think they finally shut her up. They put a cork in that. But
Good.
I also don't want to hear no more about he refuses to only play one position and focus on one position. Because bro, you're not being realistic. You're just not being realistic. There's no way that you can commit or you can become the wide receiver number 1 or the QB, or the cornerback who's guarding wide receiver number 1 if you don't commit full time to that position. Like, you can't tell me that in a league where we've seen throughout the years people like Julio's and AB's and Odell's, and you see, or even now Justin Jefferson's and such, and you see the work that's put in to become a receiver, you're not about to tell me you can commit 50% of your effort off of your Big 12 showcase against a bunch of fucking nobodies, and you're going to be that tier. And you can't tell me the same way on the other side of the ball. It's just not real. Like, name a team right now. Anybody, just throw a team out there. Any NFL team, it don't matter. The Lions? You said the Lions? Perfect. The Lions. So let's say that means you have to go out there twice a year. You have to battle on offense to get open against the Vikings all drive long and then turn around, get off the field, and I'm expecting you to go guard Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Or what's his name? Addison that they got over there now. Like, there's no hiding. There's any team you go to, the number 4 pick, you go to the Patriots. You telling me you're about to try to guard Tyreek Hill all drive or go guard Jalen Waddle? There's no hiding. You will get exposed.
Right.
And then what? Next drive, you gotta go battle against Jalen Ramsey. Like, these are grown ass men, and you're not about to tell me with 50% of your time being committed to being cornerback, you're gonna be at a Jalen Ramsey level, and 50% of your time being committed to this position, you're gonna be at a
Yeah, no,
Tyreek. It
you'll
don't
be
make no
very
damn sense.
tired. You're going to be tired because you're going to be working that much harder against literally how would we phrase it?
And you're gonna be more prone to
Potential
injury.
Hall of Fame fucking people. Like
That's what I was
it's
gonna
not
say.
going to be an easy time.
You're gonna be injury prone. You're gonna be
Right.
overexhausted.
Yeah. Because the only break you really gonna get is on special teams, and that's one fucking play.
Listen, I'm not against him getting certain packages. I am in the belief at his frame, with his ability, he's to commit to cornerback. I think he's gonna make the most money in cornerback. I think the league is already flooded, saturated, even this draft with receivers. I think he's athletic. I don't think he's good enough to be that standout receiver compared to these guys. His money, I think, is at cornerback. Now, go out there, catch some punt returns or some kick returns, build the
Yeah. Still
confidence,
have
go
your
get
fun
your
on
receiver
offense.
packages.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a couple plays, but to say I'm full time and I'm gonna do it based off of. If I'm at an NFL scout, I'm like, yo, shut up and get in line, bro. Your little funky Heisman. That's not an NFL trophy. We don't really care about Heisman's, yo. There's been a lot of busts that were Heisman winners. Look at Sam Bradford. No offense, look at Tim Tebow. So, and them niggas played in the top conference and was competing for natties.
Yeah.
Nigga, the top team we seen you was TCU, and we saw how that season went. So yeah, get in line, bro. We gonna tell you what we want you to do, what we think is the best for you, based off our scheme. And if you really don't think you really don't think you don't need this, then you can test out your streaming life with your girlfriend. See how much the fans really care about you when you ain't got football no more. Y'all not that damn entertaining. Y'all not a cute couple. Promise you.
Mm-hmm.
See how fast she gonna leave your ass too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Nigga, what? Like, show me and Margaret, ain't that right, babe? Gone.
Out of here.
Shit, back to that strip club in Atlanta she was working at.
Which would be so sad though, because then that would just prove the world to be right. It's like,
Right.
wow, everybody said it,
What?
and I
They'll
didn't
be like, I
believe
mean, we
them.
told you what was gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, that would be so sad because he would just be like, "Yo, I really got played."
When they have their
Yeah.
big scandal, I wonder what episode we'll be on. Because this is episode 11, right? Well, we'll be on
I don't
like
know, because I don't know, because in the channel you put episode 9, but in the beginning of the video you say episode 10, and I was kind of like,
because I
either
thought
I
it
don't
was
know
episode 10.
arithmetic or this nigga.
Because I thought it was episode 10. Okay, so that makes sense. My bad.
I mean, are we
Either
gonna
way,
be?
so what I wonder
No,
will
well,
be
it
like
depends on when
30s
you
or
think the
40s.
scandal will hit. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe like 42, 46, depending. We got to give them time
Yeah, I think she's at least
because we got to wait for
going
the
see how
season to
the
pan
season
out.
goes.
Yeah.
I
Because I
hope
think
he
it's gonna
signed the
last
prenup.
longer than Xavier Worthy's because Xavier Worthy was smart enough to hire a private investigator before tying the knot. Whereas this nigga's just like, nah, yo, we in love. We gonna tie the knot as soon as I get drafted. It's like, bro, she's playing the shit out of you. You mean she scheduled the
I,
wedding conveniently right after the draft? She gonna wait to find out where you get picked, what's your bag, and then take you to a state where it can't get reversed? Got it.
and then on top of that, I hope this motherfucker did sign a prenup with her ass, because if he didn't, oh, she gonna pop out at least
Nah,
one
I
or two
bro,
I
kids.
don't
he's
think that she would
green.
be the
He's
type of
green.
girl to do one.
He is
Yeah,
green,
yeah.
bro.
She gonna pop out one or two kids, leave his ass. Like, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yo, these women nowadays, yo, not all of them, but the ones that do this, yo, they so motherfucking diabolical and
I was
strategic
about to
with this
say,
shit.
Tay,
Because
better
some of
speak
them,
up for the shawties.
they're not even having kids now. Now they know, wait, all I gotta do is get married. I can get alimony after a certain amount of days with this motherfucker. And if I call and get a domestic violence charge, because you know we gotta believe all women, I can sue this nigga. Or I could just steal all his shit and have no consequences. Like Xavier Worthy's girl. So it's just, you don't even have to have no kids. She's clearly not attracted to him. You ain't gotta have no kids that you don't want to look at for the next 18
No, you
years.
don't. You just gotta
The
be there
days of
for
that are
the
done.
long haul.
And this
That's why you
vicious
gotta have cameras in your
patriarchy,
house.
man run country, man, we are getting our asses handed to us in family court. I never thought
Yeah.
that would be the fall of the Roman Empire, but Western civilization all came crashing down on the Maury Povich couch.
Yeah, I miss Maury. That was my shit.
Facts.
You stay
Yeah.
homesick from school, it was Maury and Jerry Springer.
What?
Nah, that was when
Jerry
I
was
got
just
suspended
funny.
from school. When I got home, it was 106 in Park,
No,
TRL.
I said when you were sick and you stayed home from school.
Oh, that's what I meant when you sick and stay home from school.
Oh,
What I
yeah.
said? That's what I
You got
meant.
You said
suspended.
after school.
when you
Yeah.
skipped school and got suspended is what you said.
Nah, I've never
Complete
been suspended from
opposite.
school. I've never been suspended from school. Never got detention. Never got a write up. I
I
never
believe
even
I
got
did.
a
I had
call
like
from
11 of them Johns. I only went to 4.
this nigga Liz, like, well, I
Yeah,
was a
fuck
hard
'em.
R, so let's tell you.
I just got them for stupid stuff, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm not going because this is stupid. I was like, I shouldn't have had it in the first place.
Yeah, I could see that, and I could see you doing that too, and so calmly too. Like Larry, why are you not in the? I just didn't go. It was stupid. It was a stupid reason. I shouldn't have got it. This is ridiculous. I'm just taking notes. I have class. I have a test next week. I really don't have time for
Dude,
this.
for real, dude. I used to try to negotiate. I was like, at least give me ISS, like make it worth my time. Like,
This nigga wanted to be
I
in school, bro. Ah, man, hats off to you.
No, dude, because man, you could still chill. Dude, ISS was dope, bro. Like you ain't do nothing. You just roam the halls. Like you literally didn't do a damn thing. And ISS was in the old high school. It was in the back. So we were with all the seniors anyway, and just jump in their cars, go smoke, do whatever, come back to school, still be vibing. Like
Bro,
ISS was
I
the
used to
shit.
love how ISS, they used to walk us in the cafeteria during lunch like we were fugitives.
Yo, bro. I was like, what? Everybody like,
Gotta say what up to your
ooh.
friends. Everyone like, oh shit, hey yo, free camp, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's up? Yeah, motherfucker. Nah. And I'll do it again. Hell yeah. 10 toes. Y'all need to know who did it. And I'll do it again.
What's it? Fucking Silence of the Lambs. You get wheeled in like Hannibal Lecter with the mask on and the fucking orange jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Have you not
Hey,
seen
y'all got
Silence of the
any?
Lambs?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
no.
fucking, oh, of course.
You didn't see Rocky. Come on now.
Not too
Silence
much.
of the Lambs is
Look,
funny. Come on. Silence of the
I'm
Lambs is a
playing.
good
I'm playing.
movie.
Put the notion in the
Hey,
basket or
do
gets
y'all
the hoops.
Yeah, no, for real. Yo, he
do
was
y'all have
not playing with
oh go
her.
ahead?
No, we were just talking about a movie.
Yeah, no, sun was snapping. I seen the movie, my bad. No, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, do y'all got any NBA playoff predictions?
The Grizzlies are getting absolutely fucking cooked right now. I think the game's over. I'm gonna go with
I
OKC.
ain't even looking.
Hey,
Y'all think
Chris Paul,
OKC is
Chris
gonna
Paul, Jake Paul. Niggas are tired. Nah, they got their asses whooped last night too.
Capri
That
Sun,
shit.
Mohegan Sun, Phoenix Sun, Rising of the Sun, Lakers.
Yeah, I'm
I said,
honestly kind of between OKC and the Knicks.
I think it's I want it to be the Knicks. I feel like it's gonna be Boston and LA.
Yeah, it's most likely. Boston is a very strong candidate as
Only
usual.
Boston I can see, but I don't see LA.
because the thing is, LA, even though they don't have the true big man, all of their other positions are big. Their guards are bigger than everybody. Their forwards are bigger than everybody, so they can still play bully ball and work you down. Excuse me, their
Damn.
dynamic with Luca and Bron, it
Two.
almost reminds me of when I was watching Showtime with the Lakers, and I had veteran Kareem coming in already breaking the scoring record, and young Magic,
But that's only going to
or
take you
Jerry
so
West
far.
and Wilt. It took them to 5 chips.
Yeah, it took them far, bro. It took them far. Them niggas got.
Nigga,
No,
what?
I'm just saying like Luca and Braun will only get you so far. Like
Oh
if they
yeah, it's
both
only
happen
because
to
it's
have
the
a cold
latter
streak
part.
and shit. Yeah.
It's the later part of his career, but I think this could be the year they can find themselves in the finals with that Luca trade. I think was they could do it.
It,
They can do it. OKC is the only team standing in their way, in my opinion. They got the easiest path.
Yeah, and they might actually beat OKC. It could be within the realm of possibility.
I don't know though, but the way they played last night against whatchamacallit, against Timberwolves, Minnesota, Ant-Man kind of gave them their ass, like in LA too. So unless LeBron,
Y'all are walking a fine line with these references. Go ahead.
uh, unless they come back though, game two, and Luca and Braun and AR pull their hand out their ass and like say, hey, if we don't get this shit done in five, like like Shannon be saying, we done. So
Yeah.
you know,
Say who you got? Who you got going to the chip this year?
I just said I think it's gonna be OKC or the Knicks.
I'm about to say, dang, you don't pay attention to shit. Say, oh,
I'm sorry, I got lost in what you were saying, and Dutch is over here scratching the shit out of my leg. She want me to let her out.
What up, Flo?
but the Knicks though over Cleveland and Boston.
Yeah, damn, the Grizzlies, they got
Well, no,
clapped.
that's just who I think it could. I
The
definitely see
Grizzlies lost by
Boston.
50.
I
Shit.
I don't know. I feel like the Cavs have been playing really well this season, but I think I mean we'll see how the playoffs go. I mean, I think they're gonna be tested. Um, I just feel like anytime I've seen them, like it's kind of been. I feel like there's never, not never, but more often than not, it's either Donovan Mitchell going off for 40 or Darius Garland going off for 40. So it's like, I think if they can consistently play their absolute best, like, along with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, like all four of them really on their shit, then yeah, absolutely. But I feel like there's always those games where it's either Mitchell or Garland, and it's either Mobley or Jared Allen. I don't think I haven't seen enough of them all cohesively playing their absolute best and just absolutely dominating. It's been really one or the other of those four doing what they need to do to get them the dubs. So I think if all four of them really get it done, then yeah, I could see it. But I feel like I haven't seen that from that team. That's just me though.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, do y'all think Golden State though is gonna beat the Clippers? That's the question.
This is, man, the Clippers need to do something, because since Kawhi's arrival, them also bringing in Paul George, him battling with injuries, coach changes, the whole nine. It's about time we see the Clippers do something. Like if they fumble Lob City and now fumble the Kawhi years, then the Clippers just aren't meant to be a championship team. It's almost like they're the Chargers to the Rams. They're the Jets to the Giants. Dare I say, my Mets to the Yankees. The Islanders to the Rangers. They're just a secondary city team.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know,
I mean, it is kind of hard to even just say they're a championship team. Period. When you in the same city as a team that's won 17 championships already.
Like, I'm from San Diego. It's like, bro, why don't you just go back? I don't know why the Chargers or the Clippers aren't in San Diego no more. You niggas did not win, and you had a fan base that was loyal. Just stay there.
True that. They should have definitely stayed their asses in San Diego.
Should have. So everyone right now, I said I got Lakers, Boston. Nigel, you got?
I got Lakers, Boston.
Laird, who do you got going?
We've got. Sorry, hold on. I was actually looking.
I will say, if Tay's picks are right, it's convenient for me color wise.
I would say
I'm from New York. I'm a Knicks fan. I got blue and orange everything.
I would say from the West, we might do the. It might be the OKC, and then from the East, I'm probably gonna say the Celtics, because yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to see OKC Celtics. I would love that.
Okay. Well, those are our predictions.
I like the Celtics. The Celtics, they've just, I want more for them personally.
Speaking of, did y'all see that advertisement that the NBA did for the playoffs? That shit was kind of dope. It was like a post-apocalyptic thing. Pretty much, Boston was the champ, so they had the trophy with them. And you see the main players from Boston gathered around the trophy, and it was like the only safe haven is Boston right now. And you got all these other teams like trying to fight to get their way to them. And you see like pretty much all the teams that's in the playoffs right now. It was pretty dope. If you get a chance to look it up on YouTube, I was like, okay, y'all did that. I'll give y'all. So I thought it was an actual game for a second. The way it was looking, I was like, shit, this was like a video game is coming out. I might have to get this. Then I saw the show. It was like, oh, it's advertisement. It's still dope, but just glad to see that nowadays people are trying to gear their audience, advertise to more different, diverse audiences, so get them interested in this stuff. So
Before we go, I want to ask y'all, because I know Tay has some topics. One of these, if you want. Should NFL create a G League, or did you talk about Anthony Edwards' baby mom situation?
Anthony Edwards is the GOAT.
Have y'all heard about this Anthony Edwards baby mom situation?
Go is crazy.
Him wanting to pay the full tab out, the full 18 years and one.
No, that nigga's a genius.
What?
It's a pretty gangster move. Not the fact that I don't promote fatherless households or fatherless behavior or any of that shit. And to be fair, I think it takes two to tango. Like, his responsibility in the situation is you shouldn't be sleeping with someone raw and leaving it in if you don't want to have a family with them. Because yes, it's her body, her choice, but her choice ain't always guaranteed to be the same as yours. However, on the mom side, just fucking a rich guy doesn't make him a great dad. It doesn't guarantee your kid is gonna have a great life as a result. If anything, it's really fucking selfish, just to secure some Louis bags and a Range Rover. And I do think something needs to be done. Like the way we joked earlier, I said, family courts taking down men. That it shouldn't be a meal ticket. Child support should not be a meal ticket. This should not be something that women can aspire to achieve. To just let me invest some months in a gym or a few thousand at Dr. Miami just to fuck some rich dude and get pregnant. Like we saw the case where Drake had to put the hot sauce in the condom. Because we also see shit like that. Some dudes are doing it smart, and then girls are still being diabolical. I just don't think family court should be a come up like that. So I hope this goes through. I hope it sets a good precedence where he can pay off that little funky $1 million tab and, hey, bitch, make it last. Make it last. Maybe
Yeah,
reactivate your
she
Instagram.
definitely didn't do that well, or that just wasn't done well. I mean, I think that $1 million, in my opinion, is low. Do I think that it needs
Why?
to
The
be like 10
average
million?
child, it takes
No, I don't think that it's that much.
$200,000. The average child in America, it takes $200,000 to raise them. That's the average. So you're 5 times the average amount. Why is that not $1 million? Isn't it enough?
I mean, just with the depreciation of money over time, I mean, I would have gone for another million personally. Like I said, it wasn't going to be anything crazy. I didn't say it was going to be 10 million. I would have said, hey, 2 million, that should be more than enough.
Where does this
I
money
think
go to? Like, I'm just confused. How does it suddenly cost $1 million to raise a child? In what world? Like, how do you, even with the depreciation of $1, how does it cost $1 million? Because if that's the case, then that means like 90% of the kids in America are basically impoverished. Like,
yeah, that's correct. I mean,
well, $1 million
I think
is
that
still a lot of money. It's still, you're getting
it
5.
is. It is. But I mean, I'm saying based on him in particular,
And that's the
I
problem.
would
That's what I'm saying.
I would have given the extra million if I were him. If this was anybody else off the street, like somebody, regular, and they paid, what the United States statistic cost of a child is, that would be fine. Yeah, I'm just saying for his sake. I mean, if again, because he's choosing to not be in the child slap, he play basketball and do whatever else, which he's allowed to do. I think that, giving a little bit more money would be, I guess, better. Because I mean, let's be honest, you're still going to deal with the resentment of that child when that child gets older, right? We all know that that's coming.
So what does the $1 million do at that point? Like, I feel
At
like
that
we're
point,
so...
I would have that go into a trust of some kind for that child, and just to try to set them up. I trust that the baby mama would not be able to access. Like, yes, in total he would give 2 million. She would still have her million, but then there would be $1 million for the child in the trust.
I mean,
That's how I would do it, just based on like the type of person that I am. I'm not saying that he needs to.
Yeah.
Just based on the type of person that I am.
I just think as far as what the law needs to be, because right now I think we're already in a culture where we're so used to just being able to sue other people's money and throw these wild figures out of other people's money, where we're just like, oh, just what's an extra mil? But when you really think about it, like, nigga, what do you need with that mil? Like that, yes, it is a small to him, but he earned that. We're in no position to be like, that's not a lot of money for you. You should be able to spend, because we ain't never earned that in our lives. So I really think that, again, and I think it does more damage than good, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be the mom that benefits.
Oh
the
no, never
most
mind.
money, not
You're
the
right.
child.
Apparently, she also has a baby with Lil Baby. So never
That's
mind.
what I'm
She's
saying.
fine.
And she's
She's fine.
going
I didn't
on,
know that part. I didn't know that part. She's fine.
and she's unapologetically on the internet talking about how this is what she does, you know, because she's a beautiful woman. So this is how her lifestyle should be. And it's just,
Won't lie, she got some titties
this
on her. She
is
ain't wrong.
setting up a danger. When you have these type of judges with that type of mindset, like, yeah, just take an extra million. It's no big deal. That's why this shit keeps happening. What?
You ain't catch the lyrics.
You didn't hear that?
What happened?
What was it? My comment?
Yeah.
It was your comment, bro. It was
Bro. He said, you got some titties on her. Yo.
No, I saw a picture on the on Twitter just now. Our baby girl got a rack. I ain't even gonna lie about that. That shit jumping.
Racks
Shit,
out,
she
racks
could
out,
come take
racks.
my money, no problem. Honey, have it.
Oh my God.
It's the fact that he said it and Cam was like this going like as if nothing.
Right, Cam just kept going. I was like,
I didn't hear him. I
literally had to put my
No.
hand on my mouth so I didn't like interrupt you, bro.
I know Larry says some outlandish shit sometimes. He's so
No.
calm with it.
It
so you
was
don't
because
catch
it was just
off.
you just like slid it in there and you kept talking and I was like, bro.
And like when I see Tay come from, I was like, okay, I'm not the only one that heard that shit.
Yo.
Oh
Got some
man.
titties on her.
Good times, good times.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean shit, that's why kind of why she is where she's in. The predicament she's
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
But again, I just I hate this whole culture of family court. Am I cutting out?
No, I was gonna ask. So you said she owns this, like this is what she does, right?
Yeah,
That's what
she
you
went on
said.
Instagram and was like, I hear everyone talking crazy or whatever, but like, let's not talk about how your baby fathers look. Like, I can't help I'm a beautiful woman and these type of men just like to sleep with us and sometimes babies happen and this is what happens. Like, you guys should look, would you rather me sleep with a dusty broke guy so you can't call me a gold digger? And it was like, bitch, you sound really tone deaf. I don't think you're really
I was gonna say,
understanding. You're a product
what
of
do you
what
think
we're
her
trying
kids
to
will feel?
prevent. Yeah, you're a product of what we're trying to prevent. Like, again, even me as a man, I feel some type of obligation around anytime I'm around younger guys, or even generally speaking, I should carry myself a certain way so I don't contribute to people thinking this is the way to carry yourself as an adult. You know what I mean? As a grown woman, I
Mhm.
would advocate to all these feminists out here, yo, there's more than just sexualizing yourselves or just busting down, getting your eagle on for some rich dude and getting ran through by a bunch of NBA players for a check so we can drive Range Rovers and get Louis bags. Like, great, not to say some people are the high school sweethearts, they are the good girls, and shit does happen. Some niggas ain't shit, they get money, they want to run off, get something better. It happens. But the girls who are the ones who go out of their way, the ones who are in all the cities during All-Star weekend, Super Bowl weekend, we know the girls that we're talking about. We know the ones that pop in our head. It's just like, yo, that shouldn't be a thing. You should be messaging, y'all could do more with yourselves. You could do better. What you think, Tay?
I mean, I think you're right. I think society today, it's become somewhat of a norm, I think, because of like OnlyFans culture and women just becoming more sexually liberated, which is like okay to a degree, but when you're exploiting men because of that, I think that's when it becomes an issue. I mean, if you want to start an OnlyFans and make your money, cool. But when I feel like it's becoming like this mentality, like, oh, once I turn 18, I can start an OnlyFans and now I don't have to do anything because I can just pop pussy online and get paid for it. And
Damn.
it's becoming like more normalized. And like, listen, I'm not gonna knock sex work to some degree, but if you're just like that's your goal in life, is kind of crazy. Like, I was watching a Snapchat video today of a woman who went on a blind date with like some older guy, and she said that the reason she wanted to go on a date with an older guy was because they're more mature and this and that. And she was like, I would just want a man that has goals like I do or have already reached their goals. And her goals were to start an OnlyFans. And I was like, I don't see that as a life goal. Like that is just something that you can do to make money. That's not if you want to be the best porn star in the world or whatever, because that's what you fell into and stuff. But like, not even trying to do anything else in your life and just knowing, oh, I got something that people like and they'll pay for it. Fuck it. Like it's just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, what happened to the marches like about being sexualized? Now it kind of the message feels like I don't mind being sexualized as long as I got a cut too.
Like I said, I think there's a boundary with it. Like I'm not if you want to be sexually liberated and that's genuinely like what you want to do, you enjoy it and you're not regretting it after and stuff, cool. But like I feel like a lot of women get into this and they're like, well, I had to survive and now I wish I didn't because my pussy's all over the internet. But it's like there are other things that you can do. Like you don't that doesn't have like if that ends up being what you fall into after trying and failing so many other things, okay, so be it. At least you tried. You tried and you failed.
I think it's because we idolize money. We idolize money. That's what it is.
Yeah,
girls are popping their pussy online, getting degraded. You got, and it ain't just OnlyFans. They've been rushing on stage to go date Flavor Flav just so they can get a spinoff show. It's just the people idolize money and opportunities, and that really be fucking it up, yo. And it's nasty to see some of the shit people will do for this. Like some of these girls be justifying it. They sit on podcasts, say some stupid shit like, well, you know, at least if my kid cries when they find out about their mom, they can cry in a Porsche, they can cry in a Ferrari. Yeah, you think Diddy's
No,
kids
they're not.
can't
They're gonna
afford a
slit their fucking
Porsche?
wrists.
You think Diddy's kids can't afford a Ferrari? You think they're just crying it out in their tears in their Lambo right now? No, dad's a fucking freak. That nigga's a pervert. And I gotta live this out in front of you niggas, yo. No, there's no V8, V12 engine that can solve this. So, like, let's really think about what we're doing. I just saw Reddit. Go ahead, I'll tell you after.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, I think on the other hand, too, I mean, I think it's both sides, though. I think men enable it a lot and women exploit it. I think that there is kind of has to be a fine line. I think nobody's like pushing people to, I don't want to say be better. It doesn't make them bad people or shitty people, but I don't think people really sit and think about the consequences or the aftermath of doing that. Like I think we talked about before how Mia Khalifa tried to get into sports podcasting and things of that nature or get into sports.
Nobody took her seriously.
Nobody's going to take you seriously after this career. But if you had started in that and then failed and then did that, okay. I mean, you tried it, you weren't successful, but now you've exploited yourself to the world. And this is what people idolized you for, admired you, whatever. Like, oh my God, Mia Khalifa, greatest porn star or whatever. Loved seeing her. And then now it's like, oh, you want to talk about sports? Bitch, drop your pants. Fuck all that. Like,
well, it wasn't just.
To the point.
She tried to make it seem that way, but I did follow her journey because her come up. She tried to start with Gilbert Arenas. So make no mistake, she had a start that none of us have here at Out of Bounds. We didn't have a future Hall of Famer to start this podcast with us. That's how this started when she tried to transition. She fucked up because as soon as she got the mic, she went on some feminist shit and tried to just tell men how we're the problem and got super feminism woke. And if you feel that way, you're allowed to feel that way, sweetheart. But you cannot go and say, I want to dominate a field where my listeners are going to be majority men and I'm shitting on men. So that's where all the misogynists came in and was like, bitch, take your bra off. We ain't trying to hear all that shit. That's kind of what happened there.
Okay, that's fair.
Either way, it's like she still got to jump the line because of what she did initially. And it was just like, yo, again, the same nasty guys who will try to get you to do porn, they've been here since the existence of porn. You marched, you said you don't want men, you want to be free and liberated. And men said, hey, we don't think that's a good idea. You said, shut up, stay out of a woman's business. So men did what men did. You said it's only 99 cents and I can see it all? Okay, all right. And that's what happened. And now y'all just don't, now there's a lot of buyer's remorse. It's like, oh, well, shit, I don't really feel that liberated. Or, oh, shit, did y'all know Ferraris need oil changes and it takes like $2,000 because they got to get specialized oil and parts from overseas, and this shit just didn't pan out. That's how I see it. And yeah, Mia Khalifa is one of the poster childs for it.
And it's hilarious because you got her that's on the bad side of it, but then you got some like there's this one. She's an old head named Lisa Ann. She's
Lisa
Oh
Ann,
yeah, Lisa Ann, yeah.
famous in the like
OG,
'90s and the early 2000s, and
Sarah Palin.
talented in like 2010s. But right now, she got a whole sports podcast, and motherfuckers actually listen to her. And I'd be like, "Oh, take your top off, like we were trying to see your titties." Like, no, because she's actually talking about sports. Like,
Because she
she's an
worked her
actual
way
sports
up through the
fan.
ranks. She worked
Exactly.
her way
And the
up
thing
through the
is
ranks.
that she's one of the old bitches. She's one of like the OGs. Like she knows the system. She knows what she's doing. Like, and I use bitches as a general statement. So let me not. She's one of the women, right? These young women now,
I mean, if there's any group
it's
you
the
can get
same
away
thing.
with
It's the
calling
same thing with the YNs as we call them, right? Just out of pocket, just doing whatever they want. They don't know the system. They don't care about the system.
they didn't
They
work their
don't.
way
There's
up
a
through the ranks. They
hierarchy.
didn't earn shit.
Yeah, exactly. There's a hierarchy, and they don't respect that. They're like, "Yo, I'm just coming, do what I want to do, whatever." It's like, okay. And when shit don't work out for you, what's gonna happen? Just out of curiosity, like you know.
Because Lisa Ann, I mean, well, she did her porn thing. She worked her way up through that. But the difference is with
Got me
those
through some tough
OG
times.
porn stars, they've been around since the DVD days, on to the internet days. So they know about just working your way when no one really knows who you are. You just got to keep going at it, keep going at it, keep going at it. When you have someone who was an overnight instant success, she got a boob job and then boom, took the internet by storm because she did that crazy video. We never seen content like that at the time with the hijab stuff. It
Oh,
was
that's
like,
wild. That's what she did. Oh, she
yeah, remember that?
crazy.
How that was the first
No,
one that went viral. That propelled
I
her,
know the
and then she
Brotherhood is
took
not
that
happy with her.
momentum and tried to keep it going, but didn't know how to keep the audience. So she tried to keep the overnight success, but she didn't work her way up through the ranks. I'm sure if Mia Khalifa had stuck through the jokes from 2016, 2017, and just kept going, trying to be in sports, she would be one of the top female sportscasters. She wanted instant success like she got in porn. She wanted that instant gratification, and it didn't work out. Now she's viral on Twitter and TikTok talking about how it's okay to get married a million fucking times because you can't keep a nigga. That's her.
Oh, has she been married multiple times?
Yeah, but it's the same story with all these
No,
porn stars.
whatever.
Some goofy white dude with a fucking man bun that comes in and he's all about earth and herbal shit and he's wearing yoga pants and shit. And he looks like a genie. And then they divorce after a few months. I guess he's tired of getting watching his wife get ran through online. It's the typical story.
Yeah.
These porn stars.
Oh my gosh, she took BBC.
No.
I can't deal with this.
It's true. It's always some dude with fucking baggy genie pants, and he looks like Russell Brand. And he's just, I'm just super accepting, super open-minded. We just gotta live in today's time. Just gotta let her love her body. And and then after she was on Black, all of a sudden it's like, I really think I'm more traditional. You know what I mean? It's really
I mean,
more
yeah,
suburban lifestyle.
that's that whole thing, man. When you see it real time, you're like, you know what? Maybe I need to rethink this one. Maybe I didn't do too well here.
I think we also just told the world we consume all of this shit because I'm just getting a breakdown. And not a single person said, "Who is this? What are you talking about?"
I mean, these people are famous, right? Like,
It's famous, all right.
It's cool. It's cool. This is out of bounds, motherfucker.
1 minute you're like, I love her so much, and the next thing you're like, fuck, she just took 5 black dudes all at once. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
All of it? Oh, she did all of it. Wow, the whole thing.
this is why she
Really
didn't sleep with me
talented.
for the last week. She's been sore.
Oh
Okay,
no, I was
yeah,
gonna
no,
say
we're really
earlier.
being extra.
I was gonna say for Tay
Not for like a
is
hot.
I went on a Reddit and I saw
Hmm?
a Reddit thread. This guy was talking, or this girl was talking about. She flew in from out of town to go see her girlfriend and her new husband because she was out of town for work and couldn't make it to the wedding. And the girl, her best friend, did OnlyFans. And in her
Hell yeah.
previous relationships, she was always open about it, and the guy was always either cool with it, whatever. So she didn't think anything of it, and she asked the husband, "How's it feel to be married to such a talented actress?" And the guy was genuinely confused and didn't know what the fuck. She was like, "Huh?" and she was talking about the OnlyFans, and he was going, "Excuse me." Like, what? And she's like, she didn't. Yeah, the OnlyFans she used to do with her ex and the other people. And the
Nigga
dude
said,
like
hold up,
literally just
wait a
stopped
minute.
eating, stopped everything, and walked off and locked himself in a room. And she said she just felt, and the girl, like the actual girl, didn't say anything. She was just stuck, frozen, and she felt terrible. And I think, yeah, they got a divorce. But like, imagine nowadays, because you never know. Imagine you find out the girl that you fell in love with, tell you the guy you fall in love, you find out, yo, they was on Twitter or OnlyFans busting it wide open. They was on Reddit going crazy.
Okay, but like, were they like super popular? Because I feel like I have friends that have like fake tried to do OnlyFans, but like maybe post a couple videos and was like, I'm over this.
It's no fake try. They didn't get the instant success. They figured out there was only neighborhood
Like
hot.
they
hot, hot.
All right.
There was zip code
My friend,
hotties.
the ones that I know, we're like, okay, but then after a while, they kind of thought, like, honestly, like it's just really not what I want to do. Like, I almost like I don't know why I did it, but so like fuck it, I'm just gonna delete it. And they don't act like it never happened, but it's like it was a small piece of what they are doing with their lives now. So like, I wouldn't let that. So it depends. Like I don't think that it should define every single person depending on how much, how often, how long. Like I think that there are people that, especially during COVID, like I'm not gonna say for everybody, but I think for a few people, it's desperate times call for desperate times call for desperate measures, and they did it almost like as a survival method briefly, and we're like, okay, this isn't what I want to be remembered for forever. I did what I needed to do for the time being, and it is what it is. And maybe it wasn't, and from the people that I know, it wasn't several niggas. It wasn't like so many people. It was an ex or somebody that they were involved with or whatever. And they did, and they're like, honestly, like this isn't really what I want to be doing.
Right, let's slow down because I feel like it's a weak excuse to go, well, I was desperate, because a lot of people get desperate. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a whole lot of people desperate during COVID that didn't do OnlyFans. What would you have done?
I'm not gonna.
What would you have done if OnlyFans wasn't there? But it's a fair discussion to have, because in context, that I started this with saying about your spouse, someone that you're falling for. So this is what I would ask my spouse, like, yo, OnlyFans wasn't the only option. There were other things to do.
Yeah.
Do you not have any other skills besides just busting it open?
I mean, that don't get me wrong. You're not, what you're saying isn't wrong, but that it depends on the person whether that's a deal breaker or not.
Yeah,
I'm saying it's not going to be a deal breaker for everybody. Some people are going to be like, all right, I mean, you did it, but if it's not something you're still doing, it's not something that you still put out, then I don't really give a fuck.
Because I feel like it's to say that, oh, I put a couple pictures up and I regret it, I didn't. It's almost like when you talk to people who have an OnlyFans, when you ask them what it goes into getting an OnlyFans, from setting up an account, doing the verification photos, confirming it's you, putting up pictures of yourself, the audacity to post this on this server online, and then promote it for others to see. That it just took a lot of, it's past desperate. Like it really took a lot of, like, you really are cool with profiting off of that type of attention. And to me, that's too much of an opportunistic, because it's just, what if everything had went well? What if that one picture had blown up and gone viral? Would you have stopped and said, "No, I'm not gonna keep doing it"? It looked like it stopped because you were just an area code hoe. Like you found out you were only hot to the niggas in this area, and they're not willing to pay out of pocket to watch you nude. So you were like, "Nah, let me go. I'm a backtrack. I'm a retract. And it's like you can't undo what you just did. It's out there now. You made that decision.
I mean, they can't undo it.
Yeah,
but it's
you can explain it away.
They're going to be remembered forever for doing. I don't think that it should define them. That's all I'm saying.
So
is that okay? You got pussy back in fucking 2010. You make some money off of it, whatever. Now you're a successful lawyer and you do completely. You're gonna hold it over my head because I did that back in 2010, like that. I don't think that that's fair.
Yes, I wouldn't let Kim Kardashian be the fucking governor of California. That's crazy.
We're not talking about Kim Kardashian. I'm talking about a regular ass bitch who nobody has seen her shit except for maybe a couple niggas from her hometown. Like I don't see why niggas hold shit like that over over women's
Whoa,
heads.
whoa! You're making it a woman's thing. It's if it's a guy too, because I set this up. Well, would you accept that for someone you're dating? So you're making this a woman.
I said, it depends. I think that
because it's a guy too. You're saying women's get hold over their head. If they find my dick pic online or they find me fucking some girl online, I'm not getting that job. That guy's not going to give me his daughter's hand in marriage. There are consequences. Women love to make it a fucking gender thing anytime there's accountability on the table, but it's not. It's just that you made a decision. There are consequences, just like Carmelo Anthony. You can
I'm
justify
not I'm not debating that.
It's freedom and liberation, and I was desperate. Cool, if that works for you. But
that's what I'm. That's literally what I'm saying. Is that it depends on the person.
But,
I'm not.
No. But what I'm saying is, when you say it shouldn't define you, it is going to define you. Your choices do define you.
I don't think that's true.
You don't have to make it true, but that's how the world actually works. The choices you make, if you choose to not go to college, you're going to have jobs that align with that. If you choose to drop out of college, you're going to have jobs that align with that. If you choose to do porn and have success, you're going to have opportunities that align with that. If you choose to make all the right decisions, you're going to have, your life is going to reflect that. But the reality is, you're always going to be judged, and your life is always going to be a reflection of your choices. Even if you don't like it.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that there is any one that for every single person, any wrongdoing that they've done has completely altered the trajectory of their life. I don't think that that's
doing
true.
Porn isn't a wrongdoing. It's just something that's
I didn't say that either though. You're saying that these consequences, like if somebody doesn't go to college, that they have jobs that align with that. Yes, but that's what exactly what I'm saying. That does not define them. People are probably berating them. You didn't go to college. Oh, I can't believe you didn't have a good degree. Da, 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 da. But there's people. I used to write offer letters for one of my previous jobs for people that there wasn't a single college listed and they're making $200,000. That's what I'm saying, that where it doesn't define you. You can still be a successful person despite having done something that society frowns upon. You can still be your own person and do better and better your life and not have something that people deem as negative hold you back entirely from any other positive opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
It's not, but I'm not making it where it's a negative right thing. Like they did something wrong because they did porn. Not going to college isn't wrong. I didn't go to college and I'm successful. I'm not saying it as a you did something right or wrong thing. So okay, not a consequence, but every action has a reaction. The reaction, some actions, the reaction is you just certain opportunities won't be granted to you because of that decision.
I'm not, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm saying when I say define, I'm saying like you are fucking trying to climb the corporate ladder and you put out a tweet fucking 500 years ago, whatever, and they're like, oh well, you tweeted that when you were a middle schooler and now we can't make you the CEO or something. Like they're now like now you're gonna be like you know, wasn't great, but you're still the best person for this position. There are things that like that people do, and yes, like there are consequences to people's actions 100%. I'm not negating that, but I'm saying that there are people who've done probably terrible fucking shit and are still the most influential people in their career field that we might not ever see or know about.
Yeah, shit. But I don't think they're gonna look at something
on OnlyFans that I never saw and I would never know. Like that doesn't
but you're not going to look at something a 12-year-old said in a Call of Duty chat the same way you would a fully grown adult whose brain is fully developed choosing to go do porn.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
Because you said a 12-year-old tweet. Someone shouldn't dig up a tweet from someone said in middle school to prevent them from getting a job. I agree. As a child, when your brain isn't fully developed, that should not prevent you from getting a job. But as a 23, 25, 31-year-old fully grown adult that chose to start doing porn, okay, if you chose to jump into that industry, that's okay, but it will severely cap your opportunities in a separate industry.
It may or may not. If people are exposed to that and your employer sees it, then yeah, maybe. But there are some people that don't like.
And that's the risk taken going online with it.
You said what?
And that's the risk taken when you go on OnlyFans, when you go online with it. You're putting it out to the world.
All I'm saying is that it should not completely define them and completely prevent them from having positive experiences in their life moving forward. That's all.
No, I don't think it should. No, you're right. It
that
shouldn't
that
from
stint, if
positive
it
light.
was for a
Yes.
small stint and you did it to do what you needed to do, and like I don't think that should be hung over people's heads completely and be like, oh my god, you did OnlyFans one time, fucking 7 years ago, like can't do it.
No, not only
Or-
no, it should definitely not be held over your head forever. However,
That's all I'm
I am
saying.
going to take it in consideration when I'm hiring. Like,
And
I'll
that's
be
fine.
like, do I want you making fucking videos over the fax machine? Like, I don't know if I really. I
And
might choose the next
that's fine.
person.
I'm not. I completely agree with that fact. I am just simply saying that there are other opportunities and there are other people that want to some degree put their past behind them and not allow people to let them define them. And for some people, like nobody in their entire life has been a perfect person. No, there's never been anything. There's never been a time in your life where you can say that you've made every single right decision in your life. And
You're
that's just
1,000% right. And I agree with you morally. Unfortunately, the facts are you will still be defined. I'm telling you, as someone who has a squeaky clean record and only ever made one mistake, there's still a lot of opportunities that I can't get because one mistake will forever define me. There's just nothing I can do about that. And it's unfortunate whether we want it to happen, whether we agree morally it's the right thing. Unfortunately, the way of the world, unless you are truly independent, running your own shit, you only rely on yourself for income. Anytime you have to rely or look for outside sources, yeah, however they choose to define you or judge you, it's just what you're gonna have to deal with.
I think that comes with cancel culture, which we've also talked about is stupid because there are plenty of times where people have tried to be canceled for something that they've said or they've done and it hasn't been super successful. Or it was for a
Yeah,
little
see,
bit and
cancel culture is
forgot
stupid.
about it. Nobody's gonna be
Cancel
like, oh,
culture is
remember that
stupid.
time that
I
we canceled
wouldn't.
it because it said this? Like people get mad momentarily for the moment. In the moment, they get upset and outraged and oh my god, I can't believe you said that fucking 20 years ago or whatever the fuck. And then they move and then they're like, oh, that person can't win a Grammy or do this or do that. But and then we forget about it after a couple months.
Yeah, cancel culture was always stupid because yeah, you shouldn't be able to never have a right to be able to earn an income, or if you built up an empire, it shouldn't be stripped from you because of some shit you said back in the 90s. However, it is also fair to say, you know what? If you are out here doing porn, I don't want you to be my child's therapist. I don't want you to be my daughter's gynecologist. Like there's just gonna be certain industries.
That's what all I'm saying
that
is
have a cap
be
on it.
situational. That's all I'm saying. Like we're technically
or like
agreeing.
Carmelo's Anthony, his lawyer right now, we're defining him based off of beating the shit out of a 2-year-old. He beat a kid unconscious right now. You don't look like a great lawyer, my nigga. You look like a terrible defense.
And I can agree with that. But him doing that did not prevent him from becoming a lawyer.
Because legally, you can't legally, there's not really anything that can prevent you other than not passing the bar. But I'm sure if he tried to become a pediatric,
the committee that judges the bar and looks at people's past records did not say, well, this man beat his child to unconsciousness. He can't be a lawyer.
Well, he can't be a prosecutor.
Okay.
You can, and that's what I said from the jump. You can work for yourself.
Is not defining him as a person.
Right, but what I just say, if you have your own income, you are your own source, you're independent, you can't get canceled. But that same man cannot walk into any old Texas lawyer's office or any prosecutor and get a job because of his decisions.
Okay. I feel like we're agreeing. Honestly, I feel like we just are saying it two different ways.
We're potting hardcore right now. That's what we're doing. I should be barbecuing.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've spent 2 hours and literally my laptop is dying. So
yeah, my everything is
definitely
dying.
said an hour and done, and it's been 2.
I'm sorry, y'all. Well, thank y'all for another episode. I'm dead. Nigel's over there making the meanest facial expressions every time, bro. I feel like we had a live studio audience. That would have been Nigel.
No, fucking lyrics out of nowhere was like, oh, and I was like, what the fuck? Bro, like lyrics and these, and like some of the faces he was making, they say he agreed, and then, like, the Slack comments, I was like, yo,
lyrics side comments are hilarious.
Yeah, I let y'all have it because I was like, if I get involved with this, like we'll be here all night. Like, I was like, but if you guys both brought up valid points, I did agree with y'all, like respectively.
Hey, we were podding. We podding. Anything that anybody need to say before I wrap this up? Anything you need to promote, put out there, let us know.
Follow me on Twitch.
What is that Twitch?
Can we put my Twitch in the comments below? It is Vaporeon. I honestly don't know how I have it spelled. I can't even cap. But I will be streaming Call of Duty. I'm your favorite sniper's favorite sniper.
That's cute. Okay.
All right,
Cam,
Sniper
we
Gang.
just- we-
HO3REON Vaporeon.
I'll put on the screen.
Like and subscribe, follow, all that.
We need to
Sure,
start an
for
out of
sure.
bounds.
Also out of
Insta.
bounds, obviously.
Hell yeah. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank y'all for joining the game.
Happy
Thank
Easter.
y'all for listening. Happy Easter. Me and Lair got on our
Happy
Easter green.
20. Happy
Oh, it is
20.
20. Shit.
Oh.
Let me go ahead. Oh, damn.
Well, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of reefers.
I got one rolled right now.
Shit, I'm about to go.
For the young kids listening, do not smoke reefer. Ask your parents first.
Yeah, wait until you
Actually-
grow. Wait till you grow. Wait till you grow. Stay hydrated. You know what I mean? Stay working out. Do your sports activities, whatever that sport is. No, chess
First
is
of
not a
all,
sport.
If you under 16 and you listen to this, why? That's all I gotta say. Why?
I'm not here to judge, but I'm just telling you. If you're under 16, you listening, do not smoke weed yet. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, and then you find out some other shit, and then my credibility ruined. Okay, I remember when they tried to make weed look like heroin to me, and once the credibility, the credibility was ruined, I didn't trust none of them people no more. I was like, I'm gonna just experiment. So I'll tell you straight up, don't smoke it yet. There's a reason why for the yet, but I ain't gonna say don't ever smoke the shit. I would be a hypocrite.
No.
But peace out. It's been real.
Bye.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe.
Hit that button.
Oh, yeah.